I want to show this chart here on where billionaires were putting their monies at. Okay, if you can zoom into this picture so we can look at, because at the end of the day, $880 million were put in different PACs by these billionaires. If you look at Soros, $129 million went into, go a little lower so we can see exactly what it's, oh, I see it over here. Hang on one second so I'm with you because I can't see it on mine.
PAC.
Yeah, in Democracy PAC 2, okay, you got Sam Bankman-Fried. He's the guy of FTX.
That's FTX.
He's the guy
right
that
there.
lost all the money. He wanted to give all his money to the Democrats. $39 million went into a few different things. Protect Our Future PAC, Color of Change PAC. Not Color of Change PAC. It was mainly that, and then House Majority PAC, GMI PAC. Elizabeth and Richard Olhein gave a lot of it to Club for Growth Action, some to Restoration PAC, Wisconsin Truth PAC, and then he also put some money into, what's the last one there? I can't see the last one. It goes into others. Ken Griffin, $66 million. Jeffrey Ass, 48. Steven Schwartzman, $33 million into Congressional Leadership Fund. He put into Senate Leadership Fund. He put in American Leadership Action, and he put some of it in others. And then you had Peter Thiel put $30 million into Protect Ohio Values PAC. And then he put into Saving Arizona PAC. Okay, obviously he was betting on, you know, Oz and Lake.
No, J.D. Vance.
J.D. Vance, that's right,
Blake
that's right. J.D.
Masters.
Vance and that's right. Oz is Pennsylvania, Vance is Ohio, which paid off. And then, so a lot of billionaires are getting involved. The question becomes the following. Is this a good thing or a bad thing, and will this ever stop? Like, you know, for somebody that ran, do you think we can ever, you know, prevent these guys from getting involved? And if we did, how different would the election be?
I think it's a bad thing, and I have unclean hands on this. Ken Griffin gave me money when I ran for governor. Pritzker, the current governor, who worked for me, he gave money to my campaign when I ran for governor, and then after I had won. And Pritzker, being the heir to the Hyatt Hotel fortune, has spent tens of millions of his own money to win re-election the first time, $175 million. I don't know what he spent this time, probably more to win re-election. And so I think, look, the Republicans spent more than $4 billion in this election cycle. $4 billion. The Democrats just about $4 billion. This is obscene, and I think really a problem for our democracy. What's the solution? People don't like it, and this sounds like a Bernie Sanders kind of approach, but I feel like you should limit the amount of money that candidates can spend in campaigns. I think the broadcasting media should give free advertising to candidates. You got to figure out who's a credible candidate or not. There's got to be some sort of fair way to do that. And I think the taxpayers might have a vested interest in public financing of campaigns and take the money out of it.
I think what you're referring to is obviously campaign finance reform.
Yep.
What was it in 2010? That was the Supreme Court ruling for Citizens United.
2014, I know that case real well because that's why I went to prison and things like that.
Exactly.
They call that a First Amendment.
I think that's been a
constitutional
disaster for campaign and big money in politics, and where you can basically buy elections. And we've seen here by that chart, I don't know if we can pull it up, it's on the left and the right. People are given millions and millions and billions of dollars. And I mean, whether you're a Bernie Sanders guy or not, or an AOC person or not, or a Marjorie Taylor Greene or not, they're getting money by individual donors rather than big, you know, ridiculous billionaires that can just basically influence and buy elections. I think that Citizens United decision by the Supreme Court has had a very negative impact on America.
Thank you, Ed. I'm glad he said that. I got to add another thing, though. I thought this at first was a good thing. It's a bad thing. When Obama was going crazy in a positive way and was setting the world on fire back in 2008, and he was raising small dollar contributions from people all over the country. Yeah. And one month he raised $100 million. That was unprecedented. And it was coming from everyday people sending in small checks. My first thought was, this is good for democracy, because what it's doing is it's diluting the influence of the special interest groups, the PACs, and those people who do business around government, right? And dilutes the influence of these billionaires. What it's done, however, is Trump has now become, and the Republicans have become, grassroots fundraisers. So they've got their group of small dollar donors. What that does is it divides the politics. You can't now compromise with the other side and keep your fundraising base of all those people who like that sort of extreme position or those hard positions that some of them take. And what it does is it discourages compromise, finding common ground. And it continues to polarize our country. That's why I think I don't really know the full answer, But I know that ain't working. The billionaires ain't working. There's too much money in politics. The campaign seasons are way too long. The media makes all kinds of money on the TV ads. Everybody has a stake in this as citizens. I think everybody should sacrifice, including taxpayers. We should limit the amount of money that's spent, and these media people should have to be able to do it for free and put some of these ads on. But I don't expect that any of that will happen in the near or short term.
That Citizens United decision in 2010, is there a chance that that's brought up again in the Supreme Court again these days? How does that work?
Yeah, but it would probably be even more reaffirmed by the conservative court because they've taken the position that, and under First Amendment, you have a right to give as much as you want. It's your money.
So a lot of people will complain about George Soros, the things that he's doing and the negative ramifications, but isn't that tantamount to exactly what this is? It's like, if you don't want George Soros buying elections, then don't propose these Citizens United amendments, right? Or these bills.
Right. Yes. So your question is what?
I'm just saying, like, you're saying that if they did revisit the Citizens United ruling today with the conservative Supreme Court, they'd probably will reaffirm the decision.
Yeah.
So it's essentially saying, keep doing what you're doing, George Soros.
I mean, just think about it this way. Somebody just commented right now, Andrew Huff, and gave $10. And he said, Adam, Mark Zuckerberg bought the 2020 elections for the Democrats and spent over $400 million on drop boxes. That's a lot of money to be used, and that's a lot of influence. By the way, look what happened. They lose $800 billion of valuation with Facebook. The guy loses $100 billion of his net worth, and they announced today, a day after elections, very appropriate, day after midterm election, they're laying off 11,000 employees today. Nobody thought it was going to be a number that big. But all of these things that are going on when you guys are going back and forth talking about this, I don't know if I'm comfortable with people putting that kind of money into it. And I don't really know what would happen if the money was out. You would actually need to do the work, go shake hands, talk to people. To order your Future Looks Bright hat, click over here. And to watch the entire podcast, click here. Take care, everybody.